Ukraine and the United States, who are reportedly moving forward with plans to start a new minerals fund by the end of this year. Ukraine's first Deputy Prime Minister, Yulia Sviridenko, said the fund's first board meeting is expected in July. This fund, strongly supported by US President Donald Trump, is meant to help develop Ukraine's rich mineral resources. The agreement was signed in April after negotiations and has since been approved by Ukraine's parliament. During her visit to Washington, Sviridenko met with US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and officials from the Development Finance Corporation to discuss startup funding and an investment strategy. The deal also represents a step toward improving relations between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Professor Popovsky, bringing you back in, this of course is a multifaceted conflict that has wider global ramifications. This minerals deal was seen as a shining light of hope for Ukraine at the time, after of course those relations had broken down in that dramatic Oval Office scene that we saw between Trump, JD Vance and Volodymyr Zelensky. Can you talk about the significance of this minerals deal in terms of support, aside from the money that we expect to continue pouring in from NATO and other Western allies?
I think it's a very, very significant deal. It's a long-term, it's a fund where many countries, not only United States, can invest, and it will get very good returns. Again, countries that are not supporting Russia. Russia and its allies cannot participate in this, obviously. And if the minerals are mostly based in territories that are now occupied by Russia, it's a very clear long-term significance, because effectively for every investor, including for the US investors here, they will be very interested to liberate the occupied territories of Ukraine as for this deal to go ahead. So effectively, this is interesting. And what does this deal mean? That a huge fund, billions, will be invested in exploring long-term with very good profits for everybody who wants to do that, United States, Europeans, and everybody else, but not Russia and not allies of Russia, to explore and to benefit from the very rare metals and minerals that are currently in territories in Ukraine, but also part of those are in territories occupied by Russia. So effectively, this means that there will be a unity in the world to liberate the occupied territories for this deal to materialize. So effectively, it's not returning to anybody any money. What Ukraine wants to guarantee is a long-term security for those deals to go ahead, to those explorations of minerals and metals. And Minister Sviridenko very clearly mentioned that it's open to all good-willing countries and investors and private and public sectors to come and to explore future benefits from rare minerals and metals on Ukrainian territory, including territories currently occupied by Russia. Clear signal that Russia should go home, and that's basically a commitment, including by the United States, to help Ukraine to liberate its occupied territories.
Yes, and Professor Popovsky, to bring an end to this discussion, there were some critics of this mineral deal. Volodymyr Zelensky himself, as the deal was being drawn up, said that he didn't want to risk the future of Ukraine by giving away too much. And you've alluded to there the fact that a lot of these regions are currently occupied by Russia. Is there a risk that this deal could backfire and potentially Russia could sign a minerals deal with the US themselves and then utilize these areas that they have now taken control of?
I don't expect that. There are no such negotiations. It's very risky actually for Russia to do any deals with United States on territories they currently occupied. Seeing what happened recently on the 1st of June, Russia cannot keep control of those territories for too long. And if anybody wants to deal with Russia, to invest with Russia, I wouldn't advise that. That's very, very risky to deal with Russia in the future. Everybody should stop dealing with Russia because that's money lost. It's one direction. If somebody wants to lose money, yes, please go and deal with Russia. But if somebody wants to make benefit long term, please go and deal with Ukraine.
Professor Veselin Popovsky, thank you ever so much for covering so much there and providing your insights and knowledge. We will